as a child actor who was just sort of winging it, it wasn't until I did theater that I fully understood the concept of the present moment, I think, because I'd only understood things in, at first, you know, you got to get it right or don't mumble or, and then later sort of like, you know, be funny. And it wasn't until sort of I had to settle and do it moment, you know, day after day, that I understood that. I remember one moment being on stage with Ethan Hawke in a play called Blood from a Stone, and I took a bite out of a sandwich that I made, and like my person left my body because when I came back, I was actually eating and I was like, oh, a third person made this. Like the character, and Ethan looked at me, who does so much theater, and he had those sparky eyes on him because we were playing siblings, and he's like, "Oh, you just ate the sandwich, didn't you?" Because a play is such a weird, like tiny container where you're doing it every day, and he's like, "Hi, so look, the first time baby actually ate the sandwich," and then we kind of walked off, and we're sort of Ethan and Natasha again for a second before falling back in, but it was. Like I was hooked on that then.
That is so real. I remember a moment when I was doing a play.
Too.
And I was doing, it was Blackbird. It was a two-hander basically. And
I
was
wish
such
I got
a
to
good
see you do
student.
that.
Oh, I was so young. I was such a good girl and such a straight A student. And the other actor was just like, he goes, you know, you can let it go a little bit more. And I was like, yeah. It's like, I know what you mean. Yes, I understand. And then that night, I really did kind of drop knowing what was coming next in a way that I really hadn't done before because I was controlling it still. And it was the first time I really like lost control. Now you have parameters because you've had rehearsal. We've had all the, you know, and I saw him see it.
Yeah.
And then it was like, you did it. I was like, I did do it. And you never ever want to go back after that. And then after that, the rest of your life is just about the percentages.
It is.
Like,
then you don't know it until you felt. Well, Lizzie, what's yours? I want to know.
Mine is being backstage. I was doing a workshop of a play for like three nights, and I was backstage. It was the first of it. I was 19 years old, and everyone was in their 30s, and we were like, "You somewhere downtown New York City," and there is a door that I had to enter, and I was standing back there, and I was so freaked out because I was with all these professionals, and I'm just in school, and I had all these things going on in my head, and I was running through my lines, hoping I wouldn't forget them in the first scene, and I was like, all you have to do is walk through the door. And like that shift of thinking was just like, well, all I have to do is just walk through the door, and like nothing else matters. And it's so simple.
Yeah.
But you leave yourself and you enter this other
crazy.
person, and that's why we do this.
Well, yeah, because it's like when you've touched it, you can't unknow it. Yeah. And so that means that in all these other moments, especially for us who do like so much, you know, television, for example, which is so quick, you have these moments where you're like, well, yes, no, we did technically do the scene. And as an executive producer, as a director, I will tell you, we do have it in the can. However, like, you know, you haven't heard the click or whatever, to quote Brick.
Yeah, good.
Cat on a hot tin roof, whatever.
Well done.